I'm Dana Shagru with CEA World Greenhouse Produce, an innovative brand that engages with the rapidly expanding global greenhouse produce industry through a variety of platforms. Our mission is to educate and connect greenhouse produce growers and industry allies to help them better understand and sustainably advance the global food industry. On this episode of CEA Ag Talks, I'll be speaking with Bob Jones, co-owner and CEO of the Chef's Garden in Huron, Ohio, and Henry Gordon Smith, founder and CEO of Agritecture. Bob and Henry, welcome to CEA Ag Talks. We're excited to have you here, and we're thrilled you're keynoting for us at the CEA Ag World Conference and Expo next month.
Thanks so much for having us.
Good morning.
So to begin, please introduce yourselves and give us a bit of background about your respective companies.
Thank you, Henry. Good morning. I'm Bob Jones from the Chef's Garden. We are a family-owned and operated vegetable farm in northern Ohio. We direct market to restaurants and home consumers around the United States. We have a combination of indoor and outdoor growing here at the farm. CEA is important to us because it helps us with our year-round supply to those customers. In the restaurant world, which is where we live, the highest demand times of the year happen to coincide with the opposite end of our outdoor growing season. So the month of December, Valentine's week, and Mother's Day week are the three busiest time frames in the restaurant world. And so consequently, we have to have food available to the restaurants during those times. It's an exciting time in agriculture. It's an exciting time to be in CEA. The intersection of CEA and regenerative agriculture is very dynamic. Regenerative is not just an outdoor production concept. The principles are very applicable to indoor growing. They look a little bit different, but understanding how healthy soils grow healthy plants, healthy people, and a healthy planet. It's just a really exciting time, and we're glad to be a part of the conversation.
Well, I'm Henry Gordon Smith, founder and CEO of Agritecture, and as the name implies, we sort of practice design when it relates to agriculture. And what's really exciting is that this new era of agriculture that's been developing requires new approaches, new technologies, new ideas. A lot of this relates to growing year-round, like was mentioned by Bob, but some of it's about just growing closer to the customer or growing in spaces that you might not have grown before. And Agritecture was really born out of solving that problem for entrepreneurs, policymakers, and investors that are interested in understanding how these farms work. So when you're often looking for data related to planning a farm, maybe you're planning a business plan, it's very difficult to get the data on yields for farms, on economic performance, et cetera. And very often you get that information only from suppliers. Agritecture provides a technology-agnostic solution where we can help parties looking for this information to not only get that data, but to contextualize it to the market they're considering and to actually move that through into design of the farm, economic planning of the farm, and basically how you would build the farm. So most of our work involves feasibility studies for new farms that are greenhouses or vertical farms, and also projects that involve some climate-smart agriculture, utilizing IoT and AI and sensors to improve and basically manage volatility that's continuing to happen in agriculture due to climate change. As I mentioned, we advise entrepreneurs, so again, people planning those farms as feasibility studies, but we also advise governments. For example, the city of Dallas, we just completed the comprehensive urban agriculture plan for them. We've advised on USAID projects for development of greenhouses in various parts of the world. And there's really quite a wide range of our 270 plus clients in 45 countries since we started in 2014. And it's a very exciting and sort of diverse little team that we have consulting on projects around the world.
Awesome. Thank you guys for telling us a little bit about your companies. And as we can probably tell, they're very different, which gives you guys very unique perspectives on CEA. How did protected cropping systems become such a big part of what you do, and why?
Well, for me, if I can start first, Bob, it's okay for me. I was a college student and I had become exposed to the climate change issue and I wanted to move my career towards it. And I was always designing things as a young kid, but I'm certainly not an architect. And I remember one day I was looking across my apartment in Vancouver where I was studying and I saw this empty rooftop above the Safeway supermarket. And I started thinking, what if we put a farm on it? And as I calculated the weight of the soil and the limitations of soil-based production in wintertime or low light conditions, I started looking online for solutions. So there were some companies that were exploring ideas of integrating greenhouses into rooftops, as well as, the examples of greenhouses on the ground. So I really got interested in this idea that you could grow year round and that you could also save water and eliminate pesticide use in some cases with that. And that is where sort of the birth of Agritecture came as a blog, actually in 2011, where I started reporting on these companies and these concepts that I thought were really inspiring me. And that's where my interest in controlled environment agriculture began.
I think that for our farm, it's kind of been an evolution. We have been in the vegetable business since 1960, when my father first started growing vegetables. We've been working directly with restaurants for about the past 40 years. And it really became listening to those customers and then doing everything we could to meet and exceed their expectations. Part of that is primarily based around a consistent supply of high-quality ingredients for culinarians to use. Some of that is having product when they need product, and having a product that tastes good, it looks good, and is good for you. All of those things are important. And it's just such a fascinating time right now because we're learning at a much faster pace than we did 5, 10, 20 years ago. Big data and technology has really lent towards an increased understanding, almost at the molecular level, understanding the rhizophagy cycle, which I had no idea what it even was just a few years ago. Understanding how the microbiome of the plant root is so important, and understanding how there's this unbelievable parallel to the microbiome of a plant to the microbiome of the human gut, and how from a mineral aspect, a vitamin aspect, and an antioxidant aspect, the reason why we have some of the issues we have in the United States today and around the world, quite frankly, is because we have farmed our soils to death and we have no life in the soil. And so trying to reverse those things, if you can understand it in CEA, you can apply it in outdoor, because you can learn faster because you can control the variables, right? The whole idea of CEA is to be able to control temperature, humidity, light, CO2, all of those things are much more controllable indoor than they are outdoor, and you can then understand better how plants respond and then apply what you've learned there into other settings. You certainly can't control the light outdoor, can't control the temperature outdoor, but you can control and at least better understand how you work with those things. To us, it's really a combination of both indoor and outdoor, and understanding what our customers desire and making sure that we listen to our customers and pay attention to what they're asking us for. It really doesn't matter what I want to grow. It matters what our customers want to purchase. And so the farmer mentality, which I grew up with, was I will grow what I like to grow that's easy to grow and I know I can be successful at. That may or may not be what my customers desire. And so understanding our customer and understanding our customer's customer, both really important and aided by CEA.
Awesome. I think that concludes our talk here. Thank you both again for joining me on this episode of CE Ag Talks, and we look forward to talking with you again in Raleigh.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks so much. Looking forward to it. See you, Raleigh.